So what advice would you give someone then that came to you that asked, hey, I'm interested in the culinary arts, hospitality, or I want to go to culinary school, or I want to get into the fashion industry, a model. What advice would you give to someone new that's coming up through the ranks, that's entering into these different industries today?
I would tell them culinary math is real, so don't let anybody tell you it's not real. Make sure you at least know the basic culinary math.
That's one of my
Um,
favorite subjects.
oh my gosh, culinary math is so real, and Chef Rose knows I struggled so hard. So culinary math is so real. Um, I would definitely tell them the business aspect of culinary is very beneficial. I didn't think accounting would be beneficial, but even while I was working with the Hilton, the owner of the property would help me with my accounting homework. So I definitely can say that is beneficial towards, if you want to open up your own culinary business, whether it may be a restaurant, a bar, whatever it can be. Accounting is a very beneficial in any type of the business classes that you take.
And as you
Um,
probably know, I always start each class with, you can be the best chef in the world and go broke if you don't know how to make money. And that's
yes,
true for all businesses. It's about making revenue.
yes, and that's very true. I can say I've done a little of everything. Like when I moved to Charlotte, I worked on a food truck. I've done fast food. I've tried the cruise ship industry. Like that is definitely is super beneficial. You have to know the business aspect. Even if you don't go deep into the business aspect, just having somewhat of background knowledge about it is super beneficial. So that would definitely be the biggest piece of advice I would give. Just make sure you have some type of business background, and just take a few classes like on stuff that you have no idea about. Because the business classes that we took, I had no idea about any of those topics. Like, because I didn't think we would be taking classes about those. I thought it was just going to be strictly, us being in the kitchen and, stuff like that. But once we started taking those academics, I was like, academics for what? Like,
I'm
we're
going to
in the
be a
kitchen.
cook.
Exactly. I'm going to be a chef. What do I need academics for?
I'll
But
hire
no,
somebody.
right. I can hire somebody. But once we started taking those classes, they were like, well, you hire an accountant, they can steal from you. I'm like, oh yeah, let me actually pay attention now. So yes, those business classes definitely help for sure.
And there's
Definitely the
and
biggest
there's
piece
and
of
there's
advice.
so many people, you bring it up, that really don't know that part of it. Whether they just didn't think it was important or they skipped it because, I have a YouTube channel out there and I put a video out there like we learn in school on how to cost out a recipe. And that one video alone has like 180,000 views. And people
Mm-hmm.
are always commenting out there like, "Oh, I need to know this." And I'm like, they're in business and they're succeeding despite themselves because they're not really known costing. So at least that video is at least helping some of them get back on track because they're leaving money on the table.
Yes, and those videos and even some of our books that we have, I still keep some of those books that teach us about breaking down the cost of a recipe and buying produce and buying, meats and stuff like that.
Sure.
So they definitely help. Definitely.
Okay, so what other advice? They should know math, they should know business, whatever that is, know how to make a profit in the business. That's good advice. Anything else you'd give
And
them?
I would also tell them, don't let anybody tell you that culinary is just one avenue. There's so much you can do: food photography, food blogging, food critic. Like it's so much that you can do in culinary, food scientists. Like it's so much you can do. And I don't think people realize, like, just because I go to culinary school doesn't mean I have to particularly be working in someone's kitchen. You're gonna work in the kitchen in some type of form, but you don't always have to be in the kitchen. I don't always have to be on the line. So I would definitely tell, anybody that who's going into culinary school is so much more you can do. I think when you're going into culinary school, it's good to have that background knowledge. So if you do become something else in the culinary field, people can't tell you, oh, you don't know what that's going to taste like, or you don't know anything about those ingredients, when it's like, yeah, actually I do, because I have a degree in this, or I went to school for this. So I can tell you about what it is that I'm eating, as well as take a nice picture that goes with it. I can give you a critique on it. I can tell you, what ingredients might be in it. I can give you a good menu description. So there's people who literally make a living off of writing menu descriptions or doing consulting for people businesses who have, menus that are coming out, or it's so much that can be done in the culinary industry. So I would definitely tell them, don't let anybody tell you that you have to be in this just one lane, and there's so many you can be in.
And it goes so much more than just a restaurant. It gives you credibility in so many other outlets and avenues that you pursue. And it's also a life skill because you can always, cook great meals for yourself and your family.
Exactly. People always got to eat. My mom always told me, she was like, I can say culinary was a very good field for you to go into because people always have to eat.
Yeah, that's so true.